Hey, it's Tyler from Theory of a Deadman. You're hanging with Here to Zen.
Awesome, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah. Everything's great, man. How are things down there?
Amazing, amazing. We've just hit spring, so
That's right.
it's going to start getting ridiculously hot soon, which I'll love.
And whereabouts are you?
I'm in Brisbane,
Brisbane. So where in Australia is that?
so it's the northern state. So above the state above Sydney,
Okay. So that's east, I guess,
East Coast. Yeah,
East Coast above the Gold Coast.
yeah. So Gold Coast is about an hour from me, an hour south.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think we've played there. I think we've been there.
you did that last tour, I think, when you were out with
Yeah.
Silverback.
Yeah.
Yep. So and
Yeah.
you're back in January with Hailstorm.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That kind of came out of nowhere. We just got an email saying, "Hey, you guys want to go and play some shows at Hailstorm in Australia?" We're like, "Yes,
It's
let's go." It's like a week.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really bizarre because a lot of times when you see like a double package, you'll see a headline and the opener makes absolutely no sense.
Yep.
Um, this just fits. It's a perfect fit for a double bill. So I know that when the tour got announced and then you guys got added on, it just added that extra spice, which will be really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's going to be a show not to be missed kind of thing.
yeah, and unfortunately, it's a pretty quick time frame, so I don't see you getting much golfing.
No, I think we're there for it's like a week. I think
Yeah.
it's 5 shows in and out. So yeah, you know what? I probably won't. I golfed last time I was there. It was some crappy course, but I just was cool that I was able to say I golfed in Australia.
There you go.
So yeah, I could stay though, but unfortunately, I have to get back to do an American tour. So
Yep. And you've wrapped up recording record 8, all
yeah, it's
done.
done. Yeah,
What's the
it's all
time
done,
frame?
man. So single comes out October 20th, and then the album comes out in February. I'm not sure of the actual date, but yeah, February. So and we don't have actually any touring until January. So now it's kind of like weird for us to sit at home
Yeah.
while single comes out, but we couldn't be happier. We aren't going to complain.
Have you decided on a title and anything like that for the album yet?
I think we're naming it Dinosaur.
Nice.
I don't know if that's even official, so you may be the first person to hear that.
Well, it kind of makes sense because I went to go and pre-save new music and a little dinosaur logo appeared on a screen, so
Boom, there you go.
makes
Yeah,
perfect sense now. And
there's some
you,
weird stuff going on too. Like I just see dinosaurs everywhere.
yep.
It's weird. It's meant to be. Something's happening. There's some weird karma stuff going on. So I like Dinosaur.
And the new single, of course, that you premiered, Aftershock. How was the reaction?
It was good. I was definitely nervous because it was we hadn't released a song in like over 3 years, and that was the first time we performed it. So, we they filmed it and recorded it so we can release it later. So we promised them that we wouldn't have performed it anywhere else. So there were 60,000 people. I found out earlier today that we played in front of. So I was a little nervous playing a brand new song. I think I mumbled a couple of words, but it was pretty good.
That's all right. I always say to my wife that we need to get over for the US festivals because they just seem like they're next level.
Yeah, dude, especially like the aftershock, the one we did, that would probably be the one you would go. I mean, from Australia, you could do that. There are some ones over like in Florida and stuff, but it's gonna be quite a flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's the vibe at something like that as far as the band? Is it like a high school reunion with all a bunch of old buddies backstage? Is there a competitive vibe? Like, what's that like?
No, so the festivals have like zero competitive vibe at all. It's interesting because, there's so many bands that you played with or want to watch. Like we didn't get to see, we played on a day, the aftershock was with there was a bunch of great bands, but My Chemical Romance headlined. We never played with them before, but we actually had to unfortunately leave. We had to get to the airport, so I didn't get to see them. But that's the kind of the cool part of doing festivals is that like you always want to see who's on it, because if your friends, like Hailstorm was on it, so we saw a bunch of bands that we played with before, but and Airborne I think was on it. You guys, of course, repping down there. But for me, it's trying to watch bands that we haven't played with before. So that's the funnest part for sure.
Sure. Well, hopefully our festival scene picks up again because we haven't really had a solid festival since Soundwave.
Yeah.
So hopefully we start to get that now.
We would love to come down there. Oh, what was Big Day Out? Was that down there too?
Yeah, Big Day Out is gone as well.
That's too bad.
Someone's
got to go down there and get that thing going again, because we would love to be a part of that. That'd be such a good reason to come down.
Download tried to come down twice. It just didn't have the viability. One of the guys that was part of Soundwave has just started a new festival that hits off every summer called Good Things.
Cool.
So that's a really good one. So like Stone Sour have headlined. So it's a bit of everything. So that'd probably be Theory's pocket there. You do really well at it. And it's right at the start of December, so it's stupidly hot.
Oh, I love it. I live in LA, so it was 95 on stage at the last when we did Dinosaur. So it's going to be gross, but I love it. Bring it on.
Perfect. Now, I also heard that you're doing some Atmos remixes of some older songs. So what's the sort of plan for releasing those?
So that's the big new thing. So I don't think a lot of people are kind of hip to what Atmos is. So Atmos, I think, is short for atmosphere or atmospheric. I think Dolby created it, and it's an Apple product. So what it is that like music is remixed almost like it's in Dolby. So it's like when you watch a movie and there's stuff happening behind you.
Yep.
It sounds awesome. So they're creating this submersive music, and it does sound phenomenal. We went and listened to some mixes, and it does sound way better. It does sound like guitars are kind of over here, and you can move stuff too. Like you can have like all of a sudden these background vocals kind of move forward. And I guess it's really awesome. It's just, I think you just got to get people on board. Like, like everybody, even myself, I'm old school. So getting me to do anything new, it's tough.
It's basically a natural progression. Like we went VCRs to DVD to Blu-ray, kind of thing. I think I've still got a VCR in the garage. Dude,
a friend of mine had a laser disc. I remember he had Terminator 2 on laser disc, and it was like this big. Remember the laser disc?
Yeah.
There was some
like a reflective vinyl album.
Yeah. So I hope Atmos takes off, but we're all on board. We're going to release all our stuff on Atmos, I think, this year, next year, I think. So I'm pumped for that.
The one thing I've actually got to ask is, last year you did a collaboration with Corey Marks. I think you had Hook, the ex-Death Punch guy, in the clip. It's a really amazing song. Like, who are people you'd really love to collaborate with, and how do you choose who to collaborate with?
It's crazy. During COVID, I got a lot of emails asking to sing on a ton of stuff, and I did sing on some stuff. Some stuff didn't get released. But yeah, the Corey Marks thing was really cool. He's a fellow Canadian. It's kind of rock country. It's almost like outlaw rock, outlaw country. Yeah, Jason Hook played guitar on it, played the guitar solo. So we were in a music video together, which was a lot of fun. Another Canadian. But yeah, who? Dude, I don't know. That's like endless. It could literally be anybody from like. I'm a big fan of the grunge stuff. So Jerry Cantrell, of course, unfortunately, like Chris Cornell would have been great, but any of that grunge stuff I grew up on would be amazing. Pearl Jam, but then there's some other stuff. I love Youngblood, this kid who's blowing up. We found out a couple times. We actually had him, and he came in London. We played him Dinosaur, our first single, and he was digging it. So he'd be really cool to do something with. And kind of out there, who I love is Tove Lo. You know who Tove Lo is?
I've heard the name, not the music.
She's like a pop singer from Sweden, but she's really good, and she's kind of like, I don't know, she's really out there. So she's She's really cool. Maggie Rogers. I don't know. The list goes on and on.
Cool. Now back to the new album. Do you see a second single out before release date?
Yeah, I think they've already picked a Grat track. That's the new thing, right? They pick tracks that they just throw to the audience.
Yep.
Which is a little nerve wracking, because then if the audience is like meh, then you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
That was our second single. So there's a song called Two of Us, or Stuck is what we're calling it. That's I think that's going to be really big. I think that's the first Grat track that comes out December 2nd.
Yep.
So I think that's a great track. It's a kind of a fun track. I think once people hear it, they'll be like, oh, okay. They'll know it. As soon as they hear it, they'll know what it is. So it's I think it's a really good song.
Perfect. There's been a pretty big resurgence in the harder rock music hitting the mainstream, which is really great. Like, so for today, for you in the States, the new Skid Row album would be out. New Alter Bridge is out.
Yeah.
It's almost like the fans aren't scared anymore to embrace new rock music instead of just what's thrown at them through a shuffle list. So are you finding that as an artist that there's a bit more of a resurgence again?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily rock. I think it's almost like this with streaming. It's the same with TV shows and movies, where like I can't keep up anymore with all these TV shows, because I think now there's just this freedom now. Like for us, like we feel like the future for Theory of a Deadman is just a complete freedom to be able to do whatever we want. Because yeah, there was kind of this the record industry was controlled solely by the people that had all of the money with payola and stuff like that. But now that the fans control what is hot or not with streaming, you can immediately see what is doing well. So I think you're seeing a lot more bands, especially like rock and metal bands, that aren't necessarily needing a major label to put together some huge packet and promo and all that stuff. They're just releasing music whenever they want, and the fans are just can get it immediately for free. You know, so yeah, we're excited. This couldn't be a better time, to be honest.
Do you guys ever think about product placement for your songs? Like, you know, everyone's been on the kick with Metallica and Stranger Things and stuff like that. But do you guys ever go, hey, we've just finished this great collection of songs. We need to see what we can push into the TV and movie or sports world?
No, I mean, it's so difficult. I mean, we have obviously all the people, the label, the licensing department, and our publishing company, Warner, who do all that. But I mean, you can imagine the competition, right?
Yep.
So we are down. Like if someone wants to use one of our songs for a TV commercial or something, 100%. It all goes under the same kind of umbrella of promoting your music to the masses. We would never want to say, okay, that's enough. Nobody else can listen to our song. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
So for us, it's the same. If we get on a Colgate commercial on our songs, why would you say no? That would be ridiculous. So yeah, Metallica also, as they get older, for them, they want to get that new generation of metal fans. Why would you not? Right? Smart thing to do.
Exactly. And speaking of getting older, you're 20 as a band. Now, if you had to go back in 20 years, if you could do the DeLorean and go back and give yourself career advice, what would it be?
You know what? In the beginning, I would say it was tough for me. I'm a lot better now, but in the beginning, I was very introverted. I was very nervous. Wasn't a people person. So it was tough going on tour and being around people all the time. So I would say go back and just tell myself to chill out, have fun, and meet people, talk to people, hang out more. Other than that, that's it. Everything has just been a blast. I don't think I would want to change anything. Everything's been good.
But has there ever been, like, say, an opportunity presented to the band that you were like, nah, we won't do that, and then you kicked yourself for down the line?
No. It's funny. Our band always, like, we go with our gut. We tell ourselves all the time, like, what's the gut say? Guys, what's the gut say? So we've rarely ever made bad decisions. It's actually the other way around. We usually want to do something, and then someone won't let us. And that turns out to be a great opportunity. And we're like, we told you, we knew it. So that's kind of how we roll. So no, not really. There has been some opportunities to do some stuff like, in the Middle East and stuff that we turned down. But other than that, nah, we usually say yes to everything. We're kind of yes men. We're down. Yeah.
Now, when you get here, you'll be in the opening slot. So there's always a time constraint. Do you see the 2 new songs being played?
Yeah. The focus is definitely going to be on the new music. So I'm going to assume we have 45 minutes. That's 9 songs. So we're definitely going to play, the new track. That'll be almost album release. So maybe a second track, but it only leaves 7 of the old stuff. So it's going to be tough. But I have actually already started trying to think of a set list for Australia. I'm going to have to figure out what are the most streamed songs down there, what the fans want to hear.
Perfect. And as the band ends 2022, you've got touring next year. Beyond the touring, beyond the album cycle, what do you want to achieve in 2023?
Honestly, just continue to enjoy life, man. It's been tough on everybody the last couple of years. I'm not going to complain from my perspective, but I think just look at things as just being lucky. Just look at things in life that, man, things could have turned out a lot different. So, yeah, just keep having that positive outlook. I think our album's going to do great. I'm not too worried about any of that stuff. I think as I get older, I start looking at things more nostalgically when you have less time ahead of you.
Yeah.
So it becomes more about going to places like Australia and loving it, enjoying it. So I think that's 2023 for me, is just having a great time, smile a lot, hanging with some friends.
Yeah. And what are you listening to at the moment?
I'm listening to you.
Excellent. The best person to listen to.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I'm listening to? I just listened to Misery Business from Paramore. Yep. They just started putting it back in their set. I guess they refused to play it for a while or something, but they just put it back in their set. So I went and watched some live footage of her singing that. It's pretty cool.
Awesome, Tyler. Thanks so much for your time. We will see you in January. I will have the Fitz level coffee ready for you.
And I'll bring Fitz.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, it's been great, man. Thank you so much. I'll see you then.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.